Good morning, afternoon, evening, excuse me, day in your part of the world. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Zen Archer, and one of the routines that I have when the weather starts to get nice is to sit out here on my patio and play my flute, or one of my flutes. This morning, I decided to do it and do this vlog because it's a routine, and I've been thinking about routines a lot this morning. Normally, my routine in the morning starts out with a cup of coffee, usually hazelnut, which I have here, and always a smoke. I'm always smoking some. And those are things that are routine, and I do them automatically, sometimes without even thinking. One of the things that I do in the morning when I'm getting my breakfast, or I'm getting breakfast for myself and Mom, is I move stuff on the table so that I have more space to use. And when I'm done, I put the stuff back, because it's stuff that Mom needs to be able to reach when she comes out and has her breakfast. But Mom's not living with me anymore. And I caught myself putting the stuff back anyway, because it's routine. Also, one of the things that causes a lot of stress is when your routine changes. And certainly my routine has changed drastically in the last couple of weeks. And I've invited you to come along on this journey with me, on this adventure. Just to kind of, so you can see how it goes. And maybe think about what would it mean if you had that disruption in your life. And so you'll think about it and become better prepared. Now, I'm lucky in a way, because I have thought about a lot of the things that I'm dealing with now in advance. I have paperwork that I carry with me, including my birth certificate. I carry a copy with me in case I need it. And Easter night, so Monday morning at 5:30 a.m., I got a phone call from the nursing home that Mom has moved into, telling me that they had sent her to the emergency room. She had some pain, some coughing, and they thought that it was best that she go to the emergency room. So she's once again in the nursing home. That's 3 times in the last month or so. So I got up and I got dressed, and I went there to offer moral support, because that's about all that I could do. It's about all I could give her. She's not doing real well, very disoriented, and that makes it more difficult for her, and sick, you know. But they were going to keep her overnight, and they said that they thought perhaps she was either getting another infection, or that it's possible that pneumonia might be starting, and they wanted to have that off the pass. So I'm glad to see that that's gone. But it was a major disruption to my routine, even the new routine, since Mom's not here. The upside is that because I had the paperwork with me, and because I had been thinking about things that needed to be done, when they took her to get her x-ray or something like that, I could go down to the hospital office or accounts, let's say, and give them the information that they need, rather than mailing it and taking that time. So it actually caused me to get things done a little bit quicker. In the meantime, things have changed. I now have a place set up where I'm going to be staying, a roommate situation. For those of you who sent me messages about being a roommate or having a roommate, I understand what you're saying, and thank you for the very good advice. Most of them said, don't do that. Get yourself your own place. But the reason that I'm not doing that is that right now things are up in the air. There's new finances I have to deal with. There's new living conditions I have to deal with. Taking care of this apartment and getting rid of stuff, and I don't want to lock myself into anything. And if I get an apartment and advertise for somebody else to rent, I'm still locked into a lease, and I don't want to be in that position right now. I want to stay fluid and be able to move. So for me right now, a roommate situation is by far the best. And if I'm careful and get to know the person that I'm dealing with, I think that that'll go relatively well. And later on down the road, if it's not working, I have the option of moving to another place. Maybe getting my own apartment bed, once things have calmed down a little bit. But right now, the smartest thing for me to do is to stay fluid and be able to roll with what comes along. So I was wondering, do you think about have you thought about what you would do in an emergency like this, where a loved one comes to you and has to go to the emergency room? That never comes at a good time. And dealing with the costs of that, dealing with the emotions of that, or if it's a case like this where your loved one is going to be living in another place, all those things, have you thought about that? And have you put your papers together so that when you need them, you have them, and you don't have to search around? For the most part, I have. For the most part, I'm on top of it pretty good. And I think the reason that I'm faring as well as I have is because I had thought about those things in advance. I knew that this day was coming, and so was a little more prepared. So a lot of things that blindsided me, a lot of things that I wasn't prepared for, but having the stuff that I was planning for already done means less that I have to deal with. But I was learning about routines and how those routines change, and the change in those routines change how well you cope and how stressed you are. I'm lucky. I'm lucky because I thought things out, and even though the routines have changed, I can still do things like I used to in many cases, like be outside on my patio, relaxing instead of panicking, and playing my flute. And not be quite so stressed. Things are going well. I've got a place to live set up. Mom's in the hands of medical professionals. And I still have a lot to deal with. It's still overwhelming. But these little moments make it a little easier to take. So I thought I would share that with you. Don't forget, if you meditate, to continue to meditate. That can make all the difference in the world, and you think a little bit clearer. Even if you don't meditate, at least take some time to yourself, no matter what's going on. Sit and relax, and do what you normally do. Do one of your routines, and you'll fare a lot better. Till next time, as always, this is Zen, saying you be well, and thank you for coming along with me on this journey.